small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what she always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in front of the angel choir just see.
Well, not exactly. It really just means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary. Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think that Jesus is more important. I still think it means that short kids have to be in front row.
Oh, girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, will you just head out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Now, you little children will be our angels, so please remind your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. And people in the angel choir will need bed sheets too. And if any of you have old bathrobes at home, now what's the matter? Oh, well, let's just make some room here for the Herdmans. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
No, I just said hi, Beverly, and she just left.
Oh, I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals? The next 4 Wednesdays after school. Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be here for every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
But they won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we didn't even start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the person who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Who would like to volunteer for that part? Oh, Emma Jean, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and we'll all decide who it should be. Let's see. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Did you raise your hand, Elmer?
No.
Oh, well, just raise your hand, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Well, all right. Let's see. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Now, what other names can I put on my list? Maxine? Janet? Roberta? Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to. I'm Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I am already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but they don't have to be, and we could. I'll be the wise man.
Me too. Come on, be wise man. Raise your hand. What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's that to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds. Oh, look, we do have some volunteers after all. Hobie, did you want to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say I can't be a shepherd for going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd.
I am not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys hurt me the hints too hard.
Why, Gladys is not going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds and in the fields and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous. And I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds make it sick. Or quit. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls. You can go. But I expect to see everyone here Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, what's wrong with you? Why in the world didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know. pussy willow so far down your ears that nobody can reach it, and it'll sprout there and grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life living with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear. Alice, you know she wouldn't do that. She would too. Hardwoods will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant. And it's all your mother's fault.
Jane, Edna McCarthy, did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Slocum here. I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to play Mary in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I lived next door to this outfit for a very long time, and I would rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? To play the mother of Mary, the baby of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting the shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in and he wasn't visiting me.
So then I said, Grace, why don't you just let them hand out programs at the door? And she said, well, we never hand out programs at the pageant. And then I said,
Well, they better nail down his church, lock up the silver, and hide the collection plate before those kids get a hold of him.
What was the matter of Grace? Couldn't she send them away? Tell them to go home? Oh, I feel responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. But let me tell you.
Don't tell me, Grace. The car's over here.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who could run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances, and now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. They're the ones that raised their hands, and no one else volunteered, and I don't care.
Good, good, good. The car is over here, Grace.
And you have to go. Now, the inn is over here off stage, and the shepherds come and they gather around the manger.
Where all shepherds come from anyway? What's an inn?
It's like a motel. We go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
Our motel? Shut up, Ollie! Everybody shut up! I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible before? Well, that's what the Christmas pageant is. I guess I better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That they never heard the Christmas story? Oh, why not? They don't even know what a Bible is. Oh, and they never went to church their whole lives till your dumb brother told them about refreshment. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right. Make sure I'm in the right place in my Bible here. Okay. Now there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, that's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass, while they were there, that the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say that Mary was pregnant. Well, she was. I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Did Mary know? Did he know? What was the matter with Joseph? That didn't he tell them with her pregnant and everything?
putting feeding trough friends.
Oh. What were the swab clothes?
The what?
It said there, baby Jesus was wrapped up in swaddles of clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. They used to wrap babies up very tightly to help them in large pieces of material to help them feel cozy.
You mean they tied them up and put them in a feed box? Where was child welfare? The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem. I don't say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of
Shazam!
what?
Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel and amazing comics.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Marvel and amazing comics out of the black night with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of the black night, out of nowhere, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there were wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get that a present from the welfare. Were they the welfare? Wise men?
Well, they were kings, and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody showed up. They're kings. They can get the baby out of the barn until the innkeeper were to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted them to find Jesus and have him put to death.
He just got born. They're gonna kill a baby? Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.